We are live Monday at 5. I'm actually really impressed that I managed to do the second one in a row. I'm going to try really hard to make sure I stick to doing these. But we'll let a few people come on. Whilst that's happening, I'm just going to quickly move these keys out of the way. And this book. And we are back in HQ. Well, exciting. You know, like when you think you love working from home and then it gets a bit boring and then you love being back in the office. So you can see there we've got let me turn around, let me get out of the way. We've got our little racetrack all around the floor to keep the social distancing rocking and rolling. We've got our PPE station, all that kind of stuff. Let me quickly shut my WhatsApp down before we kick off. And it's going to be a really good live, guys, because following on from last week's one around your daily structure as an agent, equally as important is your structure in the living room. So let me quickly make sure before I put my phone on silent. Drop some comments in as you're coming in to make sure that you can hear me okay. I've got to go onto Facebook quick just to make sure that the sound's coming through. Howdy, Emery's on. How you doing, Rob? Let me make sure you can hear me. This video is now live. One around your daily structure as an agent. All right, let me turn that off. Ah! All right, well, leave it with me then. Do not disturb. Right, let's get into it, guys. Structure. I think I should have been in the army. Like, I operate with mad structure and regiment and organisation, and it wasn't always like that. But as I've grown as an agent and taken on more clients and got busier and got more recommendation, really important that as you build yourself, your career, your business as an agent, that you get better and better with time management, organisation, get more productive. And today we're going to dig into, following on from last week's live. If you missed it, do go and watch it, because I was rambling for quite a long time, but it was pretty powerful stuff around your weekly structure, your high performing week, your Monday client contact, your Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday appointments, your Friday prospecting, all that kind of stuff. Mr. Brown, the legend that is Mr. Stephen Brown, is on the live, and he's a massive advocate. I think I'm right in saying, Stephen, that your first hour of the day should be focused on prospecting. So if you work a 5-day week, that's 5 hours. I prefer to focus my whole day on a topic or a theme and make sure that the 80-20 rule is in full swing, and 80% of my time is focused on that task at hand or that focus. You get the odd swerve ball. I'm going to share my screen in a minute. Done some slides this time. I'm more organized. I'm literally running on sugar. This is about my 12th cup of tea today with 2 sugars. So we're up to a few viewers, so we're going to crack on. And guys, remember, everything I kind of share on these lives is for everyone's benefit. I just want agents to be more productive, get more recommendation, have a better reputation in the UK, just get better. All of us get better together. I think that's a nice way of putting it. And it's all inside the Power Agent full course. And if you're not a member of that yet, I really suggest you jump on. It's some powerful, really good stuff. All our agents use it at Power Bespoke. We've got some agents across the country using it to grow themselves and grow their fees and higher conversions. Really good resource. Get in touch with Rob or put a comment below, and you can jump on a call with Rob. He can show you inside it and that kind of stuff. Here we go. Appraisal structure. I just love the saying, in the absence of structure, it's pure chaos, or something like that. Is what I read somewhere. And it's so true. Let me share my screen. This is where I hope it actually works again. That's a screen. I'm going to quickly flick to the live to make sure you can see my screen, because I now can't see any comments. One sec. Come on. Don't drop off. Promise I'm coming back. I seem to not have Facebook on my phone anymore. What's going on with this? Power agent. Live. Play. Right, anyway. Can you see my screen, Mel? My share screen? Because someone put a comment in quick because it looks all crazy, but I don't want to waffle on if it turns out that no one can see my screen. That's a bit, I don't know why I can't even see it on here. My phone's having a nightmare. 1 second. Don't know what. Thanks, Stephen. Right, cracking on. So, inside the Power Agent, you've got everything, right? So if we scroll down to the appraisal section, advice meetings, appraisals, we've got the updated meeting structure. So I update this a lot as we change stuff at Power Bespoke. There's more of a deep dive into it inside the Power Agent. But for now, we'll do a high level overview, some real takeaways you can start implementing tomorrow when you knock on that door. So let's do it. So I learned this. I can't take the glory for this. I've kind of tweaked it a bit for my own way of working, and I suggest everyone does. I guess learning's about learning and adapting and then implementing. But it was the why, what, when, where, how strategy that I learned, and a lot of agents have learned off the awesome Josh Phegan in Australia. Stephen would know. I've been following the Aussies since I think I wanted to become an estate agent. And it just, you know, when something just resonates with you, and you just know that I knew I was a bit unorganized. I knew I was going in and the client was dictating the show round, and they were showing me on their terms. They were showing me straight as I walked in the door. I was just being controlled. I was talking too much. That's always a great sign, isn't it? When you get out of the appraisal and you think, oh, did I hear my voice more during that? Or did I hear their voice more? And if you heard your voice more, that generally is a sign that it didn't go too well. So this is a great way of bringing it back to structure, controlling it, dictating. My coach, Royston, talks about people are kind of begging to be led. Particularly in this situation, I think it's so important when you go in the living room or you knock on the door and you're really professional, you're politely controlling, leading, dictating what's going to happen during that meeting so that the client gets the best advice in the time that you've got. So anyway, the why, what, when, where, how, and I'll break down the kind of order. So the why is very much that. So what happens is, let me skip to this slide, because this is how it works, and I'm going to go on it a bit deeper. But you knock on the door, right? Hi. You knock on the door, they open the door. Oh, hi, I'm Perry from Power Bespoke. Hi, John. They're like, come on in. And then you've got your briefcase in your hand or whatever you carry, your iPad or whatever. They're like, so this is the hallway. We've done the flooring about 6 months ago and repainted about a year ago. And you're like, oh, brilliant. Lovely hallway. Oh, wow. Lovely colour. That must be Antico on the floor. And it's all very rushed. So when they start doing that, which people are going to, because that's what you're there for them to show you the house, you're going to be like, great, John, can't wait for the show round. Can we just have a quick sit down so I can take you through the why, what, when, where, how, just so I can really dig deep and start thinking about how I can best help you today. So should we sit in the dining room or the living room? And they'll be like, oh, come through to the dining room. Let's sit at the table, right? So you've got to dictate, let's take a seat. Really important. And you're going to kind of say, so I can go through my why, what, when, where, how. That's the structure that I like to stick to make sure that you get the best advice from me today to help you move on to the next chapter of your life or help you move on, whatever your plans are, that kind of stuff. So you do that. So the why is literally that. So why am I here, John? How can I best help? Zip it. He'll then be, oh, you know, we've been here 10 years and we're outgrowing the house a little bit and we just want to move to a bigger house. Or it might be, I just lost my job, you know, all that kind of stuff. And you're making little notes that I use. I didn't bring it today, but I use, I learned this on some advanced negotiation training I was on about like a policeman's notebook. It's well good, way better than having a big A4 bit of paper that you put in a barrier in front of your writing. Just like a nice little notebook that you're making notes whilst talking to them. So the why is all about, why am I here? How can I help? How can I best help? The what, now I love this, It's a very direct question, and you'll just say something like, so John, what are you trying to achieve? What's the ultimate goal here? Is it you want to downsize and put 100 grand in the bank? Is it that you want to upsize and only add 100 grand to your mortgage? Is it that you're both separating and you want to ideally both walk away with X amount of money? Kind of what would the ultimate goal be, and what's the ideal kind of figure that you'd like to achieve? Now, again, the point of this is to get the structure and personalize what you say at each stage to your own personal preferences at times. There's some things in it that I think you definitely should be doing, but you can change it. It's the structure, which is the most important part of it. Next question. So he'll be saying, oh, Perry, we want to upsize. We've seen this house we like. I think we've got to pay the asking price potentially. You'll be like, no, you definitely won't, John. I'll handle that for you. But it's that we want to upsize and ideally pull our mortgage across and just use the savings we've got. So great. There's the ultimate goal. The house is just a hurdle in the way of that ultimate goal. Let's focus more on the ultimate goal. If you can uncover the ultimate goal, and sometimes it takes a bit of pressing the flesh, you've got to ask those questions to uncover the ultimate goal. Like, perfect example I always use. You'll go into a house, you'll say, great, let's sit down. Why am I here? Oh, we just would like to move. What are you trying to achieve? Oh, the best price we can, or, there's no massive rush, but Mr. and Mrs. are sitting on separate sofas. That's always a sign that under the surface, maybe there's something going on and they need a quick sale, best price before they kill each other, that kind of thing. So you uncover all that, make your notes, because the notes you make are important. Don't write essays, but little pointers, 100 grand in the bank. Cool. That's ultimate goal. All that kind of stuff. So cool, John. When do you need to be there by? This is really important because we need to make sure we choose the right method of sale for you. When do you want to be there by? End of the year? Next April? Next month? And he'll start saying, ideally the schools or this or my work is relocating and it'd be good to get there this time, but we've got to back up by this time. You're just uncovering loads of stuff so that you can best, in a minute, deliver the how. So the reason why you're making your notes is so you can deliver the how best. Where do you want to be? Where do you want to move to? So you've gone through the why. I'm here because I want to upsize to a bigger house. Great. What's the ultimate goal then? I want to upsize of only 100 grand added to my mortgage. Also, when do you need to be there by? Ideally, the end of the year. Also, where do you want to be? You're going to stay local? You're going to move to Cornwall? You're going to move to Newcastle? And then you understand the where. You've done all that. I'm going to flick back to this part. That's the sit down version, right? That's the sit down. Here. You say, great, John, it's really, really helpful for me to understand a bit more about your motivations, your time scales, and your ultimate goal, because I'm here to help you achieve that. What I can't promise, we'll talk about it in a minute, but what I can't promise is a certain price or figure for your place, because I'm not buying it. I can only maximize the sale price with great marketing and excellent negotiation. What I can influence is that ultimate goal, is that differential of 100 grand mortgage, because I can help on the negotiation side with our onward negotiation service. I'm going to talk you through in a minute. But let's have a quick show round. Show me the house. It looks lovely from what I've seen so far. And then we'll sit down and we'll talk about the how. Is that all right, John? Yes, Perry, let's go. So you get up, you walk around. So the show round is quite important. Let me go to, let me flick to something else, because I'm going to show you what we use here, right? Appraisal structure. Here we go. This is a good one. This is a good one. Here we go. Right. This is our internal training docs for Power Bespoke. So you've done that show round. During the show round, you're going to fact find. So you're going to be looking at the house. We all know that you're not particularly looking at the house when they're pointing out their lovely wardrobes. You're like, oh, lovely. Yeah, great. Really keen to sell. So the show round's the time to get some real yes questions flowing, right? So the ones I tend to use that I really like. So I've got my kind of questions in the locker that I like to use to open clients up during the show round. And it's stuff like, Where are we? The show round. Here we go. So it's things like, so you've done your why, your what, the where, the when. The show round, this is where you build rapport and ask questions. This is where you're pointing out pictures from holidays. Oh, lovely. Whereabouts was that? I'm sure I've been to that hotel. All that kind of stuff. And you're asking things like, so John, look, no doubt you're speaking to a few agents. What's the top 3 things that you're looking for from an agent? Why did you buy this property? That's a good one, because the chances are people that buy it are going to be you 10 years ago when you bought it. How was your last moving experience? So bearing in mind, this is all happening whilst you're, this is the main bedroom. Ah, lovely. Yeah, lovely fitted wardrobes, double aspect, loads. Oh, it's 3 o'clock and the sun's beaming through. So John, how's your last moving experience? Right. So that's how you're flowing it. They don't really know it, but you're really getting under the skin and under the surface. Another one I like, because we're, a bespoke, we haven't really got market share of any particular town. A lot of us ask for recommendation. So I tend to ask, so what do you know about us, John? We're similar to estate agents, but quite different in how we operate. Another good one. This is a really good one for the close at the end. What time of day is the sun best in the garden? And then you can start flowing some questions, pick your own questions that work, but you want to ask mainly questions where the answer is yes, right? You want to get the prospect preconditioned to saying yes to you. And it's you could class it as a bit old school, but it's really important with like neuro-linguistic programming and that kind of stuff. It's in their subconscious brain. They're like, yeah. So things like, is communication important to you, John? Clearly, they're going to say yes to that. Would you like a quick sale, John? Yeah, ideally, Perry. Yeah, I don't want to sit on the market for ages. So that's the show round. Really important. Then the sit down. So the sit down. So now you've done the tour, made your notes, done your fact find during the show round. You had a good sit down at the start to really frame the meeting. This is what we're going to do. Then we're going to sit down and you finish in the garden. Oh, John, amazing house. I'll give it the old estate agent pat. I'm sure we had some viewings last weekend and a couple of those buyers would love this place. Let's go and quickly sit down and talk through the how for you now, John. Let me explain, talk you through how we're going to get you to where you want to be. I need some tea. I'm going to unshare my screen for a minute because I want to drink my tea and see. Take a breath. Jesus Christ, I do waffle, don't I? Any questions coming in? Because I do go 100 miles an hour. So I'm hoping you can rewatch this in your own time as well. Rob, we can see the stream. Troy, Malcolm, John McGrath, exceptional. Stephen, they're my idols. Have been since I was a little boy. 80-20 rule, listening, talking. Yeah, I love that. That's a good way of putting it. So I used to, as you can imagine, still to this day, I think I get away with it on the appraisal by whapping too much, because I think I've had a lot of people say your kind of passion and stuff's come through, but it's not always good. You kind of want them to feel like you are taking what they're saying in as well, which is why I might be, on heat all around the house, running on, what's the word? Adrenaline. That's how I tend to work most of the time. But the kind of notes you're making and the link back is really important. Would you send an agenda before you go? No, we don't send an agenda before we go. Probably a good thing that people could do, Stephen. I totally get that. I'm going to quickly flick back to my screen and I'll show you the how part of the meeting, because this is quite cool. And look, I stick to this gospelly. I had an appraisal that I got from recommendation on Thursday last week, 1.4 million on the market at the moment, 2 agents. What I did do before that appraisal, to be fair, is I did set the expectation before I went, Stephen. So that's quite an interesting one. So I said to her, look, I see you in the market with 2 agents. I just want to cover a couple of things. Our fees, our standard fee is 2% with a performance fee. And we only work exclusive. We only work on a sole agency basis. So I'll come and see you. I'd love to meet you. I can't see you till next Thursday because I'm stacked this week with clients. In that time, do serve your current 2 agents notice So when I come and see you, we can put a real plan in place to get you reinvigorated and relaunched onto the market to get you the best price. Because at the moment, you're stagnating. Let me go back to my screen share. Here we go. So the how is exactly this. It's great. Thanks for that, John. You've sat down. That's really helpful, John. Now let me take you through how I'm going to help you achieve your ultimate goal of upsizing to Cornwall with only adding 100 grand to your mortgage and all that kind of stuff. Making sure, you know, how you would frame it, depending on what he said during the show round. Let me take you through how I'm going to help you achieve your ultimate goal, moving to Cornwall, 100 grand differential, whilst making sure we communicate a lot to you, because you mentioned that your last experience was that the communication was terrible, all that kind of stuff. You're kind of linking back. So then you go into that, you sit them down, you go through all that. And I mean, this part of the meeting is, you know, is private treaty sale the best outcome? It might be that they're hitting financial troubles, and it's your job to say to them, look, John, I could just come on board and say, yeah, private treaty sale, let's get you on the market, get you photographed. But given what you said to me about your timescales, and you need to really be completed in 3 months, I really think our committed transaction service or sale method is really what you need. Let me talk you through that, how that works, how you get a buyer to pay 1% deposit on offer acceptance. That reduces the fall through rate, that increases the buyer's commitment. Let's talk you through that. Or it might be that it's straight into public auction. I've had 3 sales collapse, all because surveys have come back bad. Yes, you could take it on private treaty to hit your targets that week, but is it really that you're going to be the fourth agent that's going to probably get it to survey and it collapse with a private treaty sale? So you've really got to start giving proper solutions rather than just, that all sounds great, here's my contract. You go through all that, 20 minutes. I'm almost going to keep it to half. That's what I'm trying, half an hour. The most important part of the meeting is when you say, you know, when you've gone through everything, you know, we're going to do committed transaction, you're going to get a legal pack done so the buyer can see everything before they make an offer. So when they make an offer, we're going to take 1% deposit off them and give them 28 days to exchange contracts. That gives them time to organise their mortgage survey and that kind of stuff. Blah, blah, blah. The end of the meeting. So, John, how does that sound? Is there anything I haven't covered? Any questions you've got for me? Or any concerns you might have? That will either be yes or no. Yeah, Perry, you know, your fee's a bit high. Totally understand. A lot of clients feel the same when I meet with them. But when they instruct me, they find that the extra marketing, blah, 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 and they found by the end of it, it was good investment. However, there's loads in the Power Agent about overcoming fee objections. So we're talking about the structure here. If they say, which they will most of the time, they're going to say, yeah, really, really good to hear, Perez. Great. I mean, the last agent I had around didn't go into that much detail, so thanks for that. Awesome, John. You mentioned 12 o'clock is normally the best time of day for your garden sunlight. How does Thursday sound for the pictures? Thursday at 12, or in this case, Thursday at 2. Yeah, that could work. Awesome. Let me get that nailed in now, because our photographers at the minute, because we use professional photographers, they're on a week lead time. Let me get that nailed in, and that is the truth. Our photographers are working on a week's lead time at the minute because it's so mental. Never lie. Not a fan of lying. Great. Anything else you want to cover, John? So pictures Thursday at 2. That's all nailed in. I'll make sure that slots for your property. If you get any cancellations sooner, I'll let you know. No, Perry, all good. That's like the perfect scenario. It doesn't always go like that. I then say, great, I'll send you the proposal to scribble on electronically shortly, but that's all booked in. You've left with some kind of commitment. That's the important thing, whether it's pen to paper, photographs booked in, allowing a one-off viewing on Saturday. You need to leave an appraisal with some kind of commitment. And that's it. Mental. So bear in mind, it goes into a bit more detail, breaking down each stage. There's loads more in the Power Agent with the give two prices and immense. That's a really good strategy to overcome overvaluing agents and that kind of stuff, which is going on quite a lot at the minute as well. But that was it. Any questions? 25 minutes. I'm quite happy with that. I'm trying to keep these to half an hour. Anyone's got any questions, put them in the comments. If you do want to have a chat about joining the Power Agent, it's not for everybody. Do book a call with Rob so we can have a chat with you and we'll see whether or not it's suitable for you. It's certainly not what I've discovered is that it's not for every type of agent. You've got to be of a certain mindset. You've got to want change, all that kind of stuff. And I hope you found that helpful. Drop me a message anytime if I can help. If I'm not around, the Emery, as we call him, is around. Have a really good Monday evening, guys, and I will see you all soon. Take care.